What's happening, folks? I'm back with another reaction, and we're back to finish the regular part of the album, So Red the Rose by Arcadia, 1985. Once again, I won't repeat myself too extensively, but I really enjoyed this album. It has a Duran Duran feel, but it also has this sort of artistic creativity and sort of pushing the boundaries of their sound feel, so I really enjoy that. When I reacted to El Diablo, someone mentioned that, in fact, there were a few people who mentioned not only does it sort of, have a nice lead in to Lady Ice, but I think Izzy was the one who pointed out to me the sort of female voice that I heard at the very end of El Diablo is actually the beginning of Lady Ice, and I guess the CD just wasn't cut correctly in terms of how they cut the tracks. So yeah, I'm going to start with maybe the last 10 or 15 seconds of El Diablo, and then we'll go into Lady Ice. I did want to mention, speaking of Izzy, he has sent me a few bonus materials for this album, so even though we're going to finish the regular album, there might be one or two more things that I can react to, so we'll have to see what happens there. But ultimately, as I said, we're going to listen to the very end of El Diablo and then Lady Ice. And so the phrase Lady Ice, it speaks to that concept perhaps of a sort of ice princess or ice queen, someone who is very cold and not forthcoming with their emotions, certainly, in public or social settings, perhaps, for strategic reasons or for reasons of their own position. They don't want to give away, their impression of something. They want to play things close to the chest, close to the vest. But yeah, ultimately, it's a phrase that suggests perhaps a disposition of a female person in terms of their psycho-emotional behavior relative to others, or perhaps internally. I mean, I guess one could be cold and unfeeling toward oneself or in the way in which one experiences the world. So we'll have to see if it's either of those things. If it's not in relation to that sort of concept, then I'm less certain of what to do with the title in terms of potential themes. Though I suppose it could relate to the way in which someone is frozen, someone is unable to move on or to escape a particular situation, because it is paralyzing, immobilizing. So yeah, I can't do much more with the themes than that, but I do like the simple poetry of the title. It has a very simple elegance to it, and suggests a sort of like, a crystalline, visually, aesthetically appealing sort of image. But we'll have to see, again, if thematically or sonically it goes in a different direction, or if it does have that sort of elegance baked into the artistic creation. We'll have to see. So anyway, as I said, this is the last 10 to 15 seconds of El Diablo, and then Lady Ice by Arcadia. And then wait for it. Dystopian, like sci-fi, apocalyptic sort of atmosphere here. Austerity, which again, if it's emotional, very little there, like very severe in its appearance. Chimes on the edge of almost being like feedback level of intensity. Some ghostly sort of so you all know, when I finish doing these reactions, the next few listens I do go into my headphones and sort of do an immersive experience. I feel like this is going to be one hell of an immersive experience. Oh. It's like thunderclaps and like artillery hits. High like tension stream. I like these sort of like metal chime like with hammer sort of percussion rhythms. His voice followed by that string line. It's like a ghostly woodwind or something. Or like dramatic. Oh. And then the contrast with that just. It's like I'm in like a psychological desert. Which incidentally, that can be cold, right? Like Antarctica is the biggest desert on Earth. Melodic strokes, whether it's a violin line or like a synth line. It's really like the track's atmosphere is incredible. Find the true what? Something Lady Ice? Like a dull sort of bell. Ooh, sort of a wicked flavor there. Yeah, I'm not even sure like everything I heard in that section. At first it sounded like I was hearing a woodwind, like an oboe maybe, and then it like, I think it was a saxophone, but maybe it was all like synth work, I'm not sure. I know there were like guests on some of these songs, but she plays at school, wasn't it? again, I'm getting like 70% of lines, 60% of lines. But that's what happens, you know. I mentioned it before. It usually takes me a few times. This is like listening to like a beautiful sonic dream or something. Again, it's like the shifts, the almost surreal feeling. And that is a really cool way to end the final song on the album. Yeah, so thematically, there's a lot of work. You know, I got a lot of traveling to go. I was only picking up half lines here and there, and including, you know, multiple lines with Lady Ice in it. You know, where I feel like one or two words, you know, if they're one versus another, could make a big difference. So definitely have to listen to it some more to try to pick up on the lyrical themes. But sonically, like I said, it was like austere, but also sort of rich. It was like, you know, kind of stark and severe, and yet it had this sort of flow to it. As I said at the end, it almost felt like we were experiencing someone else's sonic dream. So yeah, there's a real kind of ethereal quality to it. But I need to learn more about Lady Ice. I'm not quite sure you know, how the narrator is speaking about or to Lady Ice. So yeah, let me know if there's, you know, an angle that will be helpful there. Let me know what you think about the Sonics. Let me know what you think about that as the final tune on the album. As I mentioned, Izzy did send me some bonus material, so we may not have heard the last reaction to Arcadia yet. But yeah, thank you for listening and watching. I really do appreciate it. I will see you next time.